but they have gone away from their traditional I-bone offense to a more wide-open, multi-dimensional type of offense, but it's not yet worked out the kinks in that offense.
Eric Curry is down for Alabama. He banged up his leg in practice here this week. And Jeremy Nunley has already come in to replace him. Curry says, hey, I'm fine. I'll walk it off.
Well, it happens so often. You just get tangled up in some of these piles here, and especially when you have all this beef coming down on top of you. There's Curry, number 80, to the bottom of the screen there, and he got the worst of that pile up.
Beef Curry?
Kind of spicy.
Sorry.
Yeah, you bet.
Second down and 8. Michael Westbrook in the game, and running the option, Hagan high stepping for only 2. The Colorado offense of old. That play.
You wonder how long McCartney will stay with his new offense, or will he go back to the traditional I-bone where he features the option play by Hagan. But he told me before the game, he says, this is our new offense. We're going to stick with the changing of wide receivers, open it up a little bit, and give Colorado football a new look.
Third down and 6. Lamont Warren on the delay, smothered at the 42 by John Sullins, short of the first.
But McCartney is now, he's playing a field position type of game. He's satisfied with having his punter, Berger, kick the Tide deep in their own end and keep David Palmer as far away from the other end zone as possible.
Berger boots it into the end zone. I'm sure they would have liked to have kept him inside the 20, but when you got Palmer back there, you just kick it away from him. We'll take the touchback. Bama comes out to the 20. Colorado leads without a first down in the game for these teams offensively, but not surprising when you rate the top defense, Division 1A this year. Alabama third in points allowed, and Colorado had a high figure as well. Their defensive coordinator, a good one, Mike Hankwitz.
He said the key to tonight's game for his defense is the play of his outside linebackers, Woolfolk and Chad Brown. Both of them have come up big a couple of times.
Hankwitz was a linebacker and a tight end at the University of Michigan about 20 years ago.
And if you want to really break down some stats, Jim, Alabama's rushed 16 times now for 1 yard. That's 2 inches per rush. So the Tide is not quite rolling yet.
Actually 2.2 inches.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay. First from the 20. Palmer in motion. Fake the toss and get it over to Palmer. Stretches it out to the 30, near the first. Ronnie Bradford had him by the ankle.
Well, Palmer's the leading receiver for the Tide, and Jay Barger is playing a solid football game, as he has the last 3. Common sense told Gene Stallings that he's going to be his quarterback tonight. If he struggles, though, don't be surprised if we see Danny Woodson. So far, he hasn't struggled.
Second down and inches. Stacy goes down the line for a moment, then cuts in for the first to the 34. Broke away at first from Chad Brown. Rand Stacy closing his Alabama career tonight. What a huge season he had back in '89 when he rushed for over 1,000 yards. Led Bama to the Sugar Bowl that year. He'll close out the career ranked 6th all time in rushing for Alabama. Barker at good time now comes out of the pocket. Gain of about 3. Brian Diet got to him first.
Barker is just a freshman, and one thing that senior Kevin Turner told us about him yesterday was that he's a tough young man, and he's not afraid to stick his head in there. The one thing he has to learn as a quarterback is when to slide. You saw that time he was going for every inch.
And he says if you don't learn to slide, you won't stay around for your full 4 years. Wisdom from fullback Turner, a senior. They fake the reverse, and Stacy, he leaps for the first at the 46. That froze them. They were threatening to go with the reverse to Palmer, and that stopped the Colorado defense long enough for the big game.
Well, this is a really good fake because this is number 2 on the fake reverse, and the key to it is that after the fake, Palmer continues to run as if he has the ball. That allows Stacy to get to the corner and pick up just enough yards for the first down. But you can see Stallings is getting Palmer more involved in the offense.
10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Saran Stacy on first down. Good blocking for him. Into Colorado territory. Inside of the 40 and down at the 30-yard line. Matt Hammond cleared out the left side for Saran Stacy.
Stacy is such a determined runner. That 22-yarder, really he should have only got half of that because Greg Thomas, number 27 for Colorado, had him pretty good. We're going to see an outstanding block by fullback Kevin Turner that gets Stacy to the corner. He's in motion here, pins the linebacker to the inside, and now watch the strength of Stacy pull away from Greg Thomas.
David Palmer downfield with a block, and coming in at the last second was Roosevelt Patterson. Not this time for Alabama. 1-yard loss.
You see number 56 out there, Woolfolk, and he knows the right number to wear. That's the number, obviously, of Lawrence Taylor of the New York Giants. I think every young outside linebacker playing in high school or college stands in line and prays that the equipment staff gives him that number. Woolfolk is playing like LT so far tonight.
Second down and 12. Deep pitch. End around with Palmer, only to the 30. And that 56 has been a popular number, not only because of LT, but Matt Swilling and Chris Dolman, Harvey with the Cardinals. I mean, it's really becoming the linebacker's number of choice.
Jeff Lageman, who's a converted linebacker for the Jets, has got his team in the playoffs tomorrow. But that number, you have to back it up with performance, and all those fellas you mentioned, Jim, are outstanding players as well.
Third down and 9. Bama from the 30 of Colorado. Look out. They get him. And a football free. Fell on by Kevin Turner. You could see him coming in from the right side. Beekert and Wolfert on the smash.
Well, the Buffs have 38 sacks on the year coming in. 2 so far this evening. This is real close to another one. Again, it's the safety from the outside, Greg Thomas, 6'2", 220 pounds. Packs a big wallop on the quarterback.
And that play took Alabama out of field goal range. 4th sack here in the first half for Colorado as Eric Hamilton is held to the sideline. So Tank Williamson is in. It's a punt near the 50. Hagan raises a hand. That football may have touched him.
But it went out of bounds, so it doesn't matter. But he was awfully close, too close, I'm sure, for McCartney.
It was out of bounds at the 1. Inside of the 1. Let's go to our colleague Jim Gray with a special guest. Jim?
Proud of what's happened to your son David, who was named the head coach yesterday. In fact, the headlines right here in the Miami paper, Shula and son, what about David's appointment to the Bengals?
Very proud, and I'm just glad that he's getting the opportunity. He's worked hard, and he's going to do a good job up there. Cincinnati is a fine football team, and I know that Dave has wanted the opportunity to be a head coach, and Mike Brown and the Cincinnati Bengals are giving him that opportunity, and I'm a proud father.
Jim Nance?
I'm sure he is a proud papa indeed. The great Don Shula from the 1, Colorado, trying to get some room with James Hill. Maybe a yard is all.
Not a whole lot of running room up the middle here for the Buffaloes. You see the fake by Lamont. Warren, and there's the handoff inside, and the Tide is just there to swallow that one for about a half-a-yard gain.
Lamont Warren has not seen any room tonight. A mid-season find, rushed for over 800 yards. Dangerous pass by Hagan, still off the mark at the 5-yard line.
That ball might have been deflected at the line of scrimmage.
Hagan is 0 for 6. Midway through the second quarter, 7:29 remaining. Colorado 9, Alabama 7. Colorado still looking for its first down. 3rd and 9, and coming up short is Warren at the 8. George Teague, the free safety for Bama, makes the tackle at the 8. Colorado will punt from the end zone. Same kind of situation on the field where David Palmer ran the punt back in the first quarter for an Alabama touchdown. Lewinberg to snap it to Berger. This is one that can be returned. Watch it. Ran to the near side of the field, and a 9-yard run back after a 43-yard punt. Let's go back to Jim Gray.
All right, Don, continuing. There have been so many changes in the NFL. 8 of your peers have left their jobs since the end of the season, particularly Chuck Noll. What's your thoughts on all these changes?
Well, that's really disturbing to me because there are a lot of fine football coaches that are out there now without jobs. And as a coach, you'd like to see everybody get full opportunity to either do it or not do it. And I don't know if some of them have had full opportunity. You hate to see a guy like Chuck Noll bow out. Chuck Knox, you know, just one of the excellent football coaches that I've known or coached against. And then some of the younger coaches are also out of work. So I hope everything gets straightened out and that these staffs get resolved.
All right, Don, we'll continue with you and Mike in just a moment. Jim Nantz.
Chad Brown a little gimpy on the punt return coverage. Rodell Guest will come in now at outside linebacker for Colorado to replace him.
You know, Jim, I've had a lot of thrills in my playing career for the San Diego Chargers, but in my broadcasting career, I was lucky enough to be here for Don Shula's 300 win, and believe me, that was a great thrill to see probably the greatest coach of all time pick up that wonderful milestone.
On the 44 this time, they do run the reverse with Lee, Kevin Lee, and they'll lose tremendous yardage. Is Ron Wolford. Tackles him back at the 42. That's a 13-yard loss. Wolford has been the star tonight for Colorado. A sack, that big tackle for a loss, and a blocked punt.
Again, it's a defensive play for either team. They're just dominating the line of scrimmage. The outside play of the linebackers for Colorado has been the difference so far.
They send Stacy out as a receiver on 2nd and 23. Another big play defensively. Chad Brown sits out one play, comes right back, and reads that play perfectly.
He's a tough guy, Jim. I mean, the guy has 16 snakes or something in his room back in Boulder. Number 34 from the left side of the screen is just going to smother Stacy in the backfield.
You know what that's called?
What's that?
According to Robert Wool, a saran wrap. As he took Stacy one-on-one. Third down, and Parker going long for Lee. Deion Figures, excellent coverage for Colorado.
Wonderful coverage as he cut Lee off, as Lee had designs on cutting inside and making that grab, but that was a big league play by Deion Figures. Number 2, watch him cut Lee off right here. Looks for the ball at the last moment and prevents a big gain for Alabama.
Hank Williamson driving punt. Hagan now will have a return opportunity. Very short one at that. Coming right in on him was Andre Royal. He committed a personal foul to start the game on a punt coverage situation. That time he gave Hagan enough room and made a nice tackle. Back over to Jim Gray with the Shulas.
All right, Jim. Mike Shula, you played for the University of Alabama, left in 1986. You're now an assistant coach with your father. You've got a decision to make. Who are you going to go with, your brother or your father?
Wait a minute, he's with me now. What do you mean, who's he going to go with?
Well, I think right now it's something we haven't really talked about, but it certainly would be an honor to be considered for a coaching opportunity there. But I'm very happy here at Miami to be home with the Dolphins and with my father and my sisters.
Well, maybe we'll have a trio in the NFL not too far away. Thanks to both of you. Congratulations to the Shulas. Jim Nance.
Now we saw a running play for Scott Phillips that netted 1 yard. Phillips scored the Colorado touchdown from a yard out in the first quarter. All the way back at the 12. Lemansky Hall on Lamont Warren.
Well, the Tide is saying, hey, listen, we got some outside linebackers too. Number 11 is Hall. Here he is right here. Watch as he gets up the field again. Nobody to block Lemansky Hall. And he drops Warren for a big loss. Just gets inside the block there, or the attempted block by Mark Henry.
3rd and 18. Interception at the 50. Mark McMillan. Mark McMillan inside of the 20. Mark McMillan near the goal line. A yard shy. Jim Hansen made the stop for Colorado, but the Tide is just inches away from the goal line after a 49-yard run back.
Oh, giving it his best Deion Sanders imitation, and he gets walloped from behind by a teammate. But I talked to McMillan on the field before the ball game, and this ball is just poorly thrown, underthrown by Hagan as he's trying to hit the wide receiver at the top of the screen all the way down the field. McMillan had to come back on this ball and
Never
whack a little bit. Now he picks up the convoy down to the 1.
coaster, not to mention water adventure.
One in sight. Straight ahead for Bama. Did Stacy make it? No. You know, McMillan had an interception this year against Tennessee Chattanooga. 98 yards for a touchdown, an Alabama school record. Tonight.
And I was checking with him on how he pronounces his name, because it could go McMillian, but he says it's McMillan, and be ready to call it a lot tonight. I'm going to have a big night.
Boy, he was prophetic, wasn't he? 2nd and goal. Eric Lassick hit right away after the exchange. Chad Brown breaking through.
That's our snake charmer. He's getting into it with everybody.
And a late flag as there was some shoving going on after the whistle.
He just crashes in from the left side. Got a lot of help underneath. That penetration of the Buffaloes was the key.
Defense, get ball, personal foul on the offense, they're down.
Those just do no good at all. I mean, they're just useless.
So the only thing that they could do in that situation is have the players sit out a play. In that way, you're penalizing both teams and both players for engaging in that type of activity. But by having offsetting penalties, so what?
Yeah. Under 3 minutes to go in the half. Colorado 9, Alabama 7. 3rd and goal. Stacy tries to reverse his field. Ron Wolford makes the play again for the Buffs.
Watch from the bottom of the screen. Again, it's an outside linebacker, Wolford, that gets the penetration and forces Stacy back inside where all those gold helmets are. The Tide started this drive on the 1 yard line after that interception, and now they've got to settle for a field goal.
Wethington from 25. Jeff Wall on the hold. And just barely. Ooh.
Those goalposts are 18 feet 6 inches apart, and he used every bit of that.
Bama with its 4th trip into Colorado territory, and they come away with a field goal, starting the drive from inside of the 1. Gray, Andrea Joyce coming up at halftime. She'll be joined by Mike Francesa. Talk about this coaching carousel that has been changing on a daily basis. Get an update on the playoff situation from earlier today. Greg Gumbel and Terry Bradshaw will be with us as well. It's coming up at halftime.
Jim, we predicted it would be a defensive struggle this evening. Big plays by special teams and defense. Colorado on total offense just 10 yards. Alabama not much better with 71 yards. But they blew a big opportunity that time to get a touchdown. After McMillan's return took the ball all the way to the 1-yard line, they retreated before they kicked the field goal to go ahead. Colorado still without a first down.
Amazing. Colorado's points on a safety and a 3-yard drive set up by Ron Wolford's blocked punt. Charles Johnson is back along with Chris Hudson. Waiting for the kick from Cole. Johnson from the 13. Quick burst out to the 34. Irving spikes. Spotted him at the 34. We've got wild card action tomorrow on CBS. The Dallas Cowboys and the Chicago Bears. 12 Eastern time with the NFL Today. Greg and Terry, along with Leslie and Pat O'Brien. And then Pat Summerall and John Madden will call the Cowboys and the Bears tomorrow on CBS. The winner of that game plays Detroit. Everybody shifting out of the backfield. Let's watch the Buffs 2-minute drill. Flag on the field as Hagan comes back. Gets a hard-earned 2. Steve Webb manning that side. Alabama was offside. So they'll play the down over. 1st and 5 for Colorado. And this man, Dan Fouts, wanted to showcase Darian Hagan tonight. I don't think this is the way he meant to do it.
But he knew that he would have some problems because of the...
On the defense, still first down.
Because of the lack of practice time. Just 10 practices before this game. And to expect his players to assimilate a brand new offense. And he told us he was worried of whether or not they could protect Hagan, give him time to throw. So far, that hasn't been the case.
Phillips and Warren in the backfield. Hagan on the run, completes the pass to Michael Westbrook.
But the one thing about the Colorado offense, with Darian Hagan leading it, they're one of the best 2-minute offenses in football, college football. That's Hagan's first completion of the day to a teammate.
And Colorado's first down, a gain of 16. Right you are, Dan, about Darian Hagan in a 2-minute drill. In his career, he's had 23 opportunities in the 2-minute situation. 17 times he directed the team to scores. This pass well behind Westbrook, trying to hook up with him back-to-back plays.
And the reason he's been successful is because he has that magic type of personality, very confident. He's a good leader. His teammates look to him for leadership. Obviously, that's something every quarterback should provide. And this is where it exemplifies itself, is in the 2-minute offense when the quarterback is in complete control.
2nd and 10, play action. Zips it over for a reception, not a first down, but a pass to the 40 and a gain of 5. It was Sean Brown, his tight end, and the Colorado leading receiver on the season. That magical season of '89 for the Buffaloes. Hagan had 9 chances, 9 times he drove his